In case you're new, we have a center cat called Quanta from the quantum field. There was a lot for me to unpack thinking of this idea that stirring things up. Because a lot of things have been stirring up, both good, both passionate. I'm feeling really good about some things, and then other things I don't know, not feeling so good about them. Just to be right out on the deck here. And you know that feeling, well, I remember when I was younger that I used to hear, I remember my mom or dad or one of them would say, something is brewing. Something's brewing. Have you ever felt that? You can't put your finger on it, but something's happening. You walk into a room, you're going, so how's everybody doing? What's happening in this room? Have you ever felt that? But you can't see it, can you? It's a what? It's a feeling, a vibration, a frequency. You remember the old one? The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Thank goodness nobody tried that. I'm just thinking to myself, that is exactly the greatest metaphor for what people call God or they call spirit. They say we can't see it, can we? We can't see spirit, but we know what? But we can feel it. Something is vibrating, and we call it spirit, but I call it the frequency, I call it the quantum. You can call it whatever you want. Once again, it doesn't need your name that you give it. It's that feeling. It's that feeling that something powerful is happening, and we get to depend on it. Well, this week, I kept getting this powerful message. And it's very interesting because there's a part of me in this moment that wants to skirt around it because I want to please y'all instead of just letting your heart speak and letting that be whatever it is. And I know that you're all big boys and girls and everybody put on those big boy and girl pants. They can handle anything, Reverend Dr. Patrick would say. But I'm not really happy about something. I'm going to tell you what I'm happy about first because that's the way we do things in Science of Mind. I am so grateful for the freedom that I have. I am so grateful for the freedom that I choose. I am so grateful. I look back at my life and all the times that I was able to speak and say what I chose to be and do in my life. And though people said, I don't like what you're saying, they didn't stop me from saying it. And you know what I'm talking about. The choice, the absolute choice to be able to have freedom of speech, no matter what. No matter what. So my point here today isn't to get down on who's not doing their job. I have to do my job. I have to do my job. And this week I have to tell you, I've been really good lately, but I got a little bit scared. And this is why I was afraid. Because I don't know about you, but if you've been here long enough, you have heard these words out of my mouth saying that we are so powerful that I am God. I am the very essence of this power. I am God. Well, beautiful Angela puts on our little reels sometimes, and so that people can see them on Facebook and Instagram. And there was one of me. And it didn't start out with kind of getting to know me. It started out with this: I am God. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If I had been looking at that, I would have been saying, who is that crazy man on the reel? But that's how it started. And then I started to do the talk, right? I'm able to say that, my friends. I'm able to stand here, and that is taped and put all over wherever it goes. And there were times in my life, at least, in our time, and way before, I would be ripped off this stage and taken away for saying who I am in the mind of God. Good, call it whatever you want. Yeah, I am not mad. But I'm not kidding. This is an important time in my life that I get to declare and know who I am. I am not ready for any source to tell me I cannot speak my mind. I'm not here promoting that I get to hurt anyone. But there's plenty of times that people don't like it. Now, on that particular, you're going to find this hard to believe, on that particular reel, on that particular video, I got a few comments. I bet you want to know what they said. It wasn't what a good-looking minister he is. It was, run from him. He is a false prophet, and he will only lead you into the pits of hell. I'm paraphrasing. There was much more. And I had to just take it in for a moment. That was my freedom to speak. That was it not? And it did not hurt my feelings. As a matter of fact, I thought to myself, I have arrived. Because if you have time to condemn me, then you are listening a lot longer than you should have, probably. So I am grateful, but I don't know if I have been grateful for the things that I took for granted my whole life. Like when I lived at home, I didn't have a lot of freedom of speech because Mama had the freedom of speech, and I followed that. But guess what? This is how I feel about it, why I'm not afraid. You take my speech away, but you cannot take away who I am. You cannot take away one thought. Try to take away my thought. So whatever it is here to tell everyone, yes, we are this power, and that's what we're here for. To say this is our power. We had the new thought, the Transcendentalists. They were fierce. They were out there saying, this is what we got. We can't, that's not true. We're much more powerful than that. Let's speak it, let's speak it. And this is what they contended with, because I put in there, I put in a little bit of help to say, what was the new thought leaders doing about this I am God? How would it have been perceived? And it said, they continued to speak their truth despite opposition. Oh, that feels present. They insisted. This is what they said about God. God is within, not far away. Each person is free to think, choose, and speak their creative word. Healing and transformation are accessible without intermediaries. Ooh, that's the one that got him a little bit in trouble. Because they went, what does that mean? You don't need any help. It's because we are the direct connect. Does that mean that I am God over you? No. It means that we are the direct connect. And that's the beauty of quantum physics, is it's telling us, not only am I that, you are. We have never been apart. We have never been apart. And it's not just these people in this room, it's everywhere. Everywhere. And I just really sat with it and thought, what is going on here? And so we're talking not politics. You haven't heard me mention any names. Have you? But I'm going to tell you something else that came up. So I went into meditation, because that's where I go. I go, okay, let me get aligned again. And this is the very question that came to me, not from an outside anything. It said this. Where are you censoring yourself with your life? I went, excuse me? I didn't quite hear that. And what it's saying is, where am I censoring myself and my life? It's like with peace. I'm so worried about everybody being at peace, and I'm still complaining my day away sometimes. Not every day. We can never, ever, in my opinion only, ever be free. We will never be free as long as there is no peace. The only peace we will ever, only freedom we'll ever find is through peace. And so I'm sitting there thinking, wow. I was called a false prophet. I was ripped off the stage, and I was thinking, this is what Ernest Holmes came in. So what is that idea about censoring? I'm all over here. It's great. What is that saying that I censor myself? Even before I came up here, I was going, how can I say this? Because I don't really want to talk any kind of politics. I don't really want to do it. Those days are still here. I'm not here to talk about any particular, and if I did, then you've never watched TV and you've never done it, and let me tell you something, if you haven't, fabulous. But right now I will say that I feel very, very protective over my speech. Because if you can do it over there, you can do it right here. And I'm not out there to fight that. I'm out there to say, let me tell you, you cannot outdo spirit. I'm not afraid. Because that power that is in each and every one of us is so powerful and so loving that we don't have to fear that. Now, we might have to do some work about it and do a little something here and there. But does that make sense? That all my life, all of our life, we have taken this beautiful thing, freedom of speech, for granted. We thought that it would last, and it's okay. I've had plenty of people want to take my speech away from me. I've had plenty of people. This is what I love about it, though. No one's saying that you have to like what I say. There's a comedian, I won't give his name, but he's a real shock value. And he's not for everybody, trust me. And I was so curious about him because he's very dry and he speaks these things that, you know, that you would say, did he just say that? What the hell? Even me. And I'm like, but I wonder so, and oh my God, the audiences, there's, you know, thousands of people listening to this one man. And then the day came that he made a comment about 9/11 in his jokes. And he does stuff like that shocks you, and you go, oh. And I went, oh, that's a shame. I can't be with you anymore. Isn't that easier? Isn't that peaceful? Oh man, I'm not going to come up there and try to do anything to you. I was kind of following you. You made me curious. But now, click it off. If you don't like what somebody's saying, click it off. I've had people come in and say, we don't like what you do here, I'm leaving. And I said, well, thank you for at least giving it a try. I love you. I didn't say that to them, I said that to them. Because then they get all freaky. I'm leaving you. I love you. They go, I knew it. I knew you were a cult. I knew they were a cult. So in wrapping this, I just want to say something about peace too. I found this. The voice of spirit is always free. And always what? Peaceful. When we align with that truth, our speech becomes liberation itself. That speech becomes liberation itself. Are you up for it? We're doing good, man. We are doing good. Give yourselves a round of applause here. And the only way to get through it is by loving yourself, right, Stream? Right, Bob? Right? So, put your hands on your heart for a moment. If you choose, we are all about choice. Ooh. And let's say to ourselves, I love myself. I love myself. Say it as though we're talking to that inner child that is so beautiful and so trusting. Ready? I love myself. I love myself. And so it is. Namaste.